Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, you know how it works, you know the drill. So this week we have an event in the form of Comic Con at Home 2020. Obviously Comic Con can't do its usual in-person thing because of the global pandemic, so we're all graced with Comic Con from home, which works very nicely for people like myself who live on the other side of the world, who can't obviously attend Comic Con type events because it's not in my country, but now we get to experience them online and so forth as they happen, which is great for international viewers. So this week on July 23rd, we have the Star Trek Universe virtual panel happening as part of Comic Con 2020 at home. And I'm guessing we're probably going to get quite a bit of new Star Trek news coming at the end of this week in the form of whether it's Star Trek Picard or Strange New Worlds or Discovery, Lower Decks and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes out. So I'm just going to run through a few of the things we're likely to see at Comic Con panel this week and what news items might potentially come out. Let's take a look at the rundown for this week's Star Trek panel and see what might interest us. So for starters, it seems like Heather Caden and Alex Kurtzman, kind of the two main Star Trek overseers, are going to give us a bit of a rundown on what's upcoming ahead in future months or years in Star Trek and what's going on those fronts. So I'm guessing that's going to be Star Trek Picard Season 2, it's going to be Strange New Worlds Season 1, it's going to be Discovery Season 3 is finished obviously, but we're yet to air that. But it would seem like they're probably going to announce a Season 4 of Discovery, because what CBS likes to do in the past, which they've done with Star Trek Picard when the first season was just about to air, is announce a second season even before the first one has gone to air. They kind of like to do this, CBS, to kind of like, I don't know, instill in their audience that Star Trek shows aren't going anywhere and they're, you know, worth tuning into. And maybe even give us a concrete air date as to when Season 3 is going to air. I think my guess was October, which would kind of make sense because that it's after Lower Decks has finished screening on All Access. My bet would be launch straight into Discovery Season 3 very soon after the conclusion of that series. So in terms of guests on this panel, all of our usual Star Trek Discovery alumni are going to be there, as well as some of our cast from Strange New Worlds. So we're likely to see Sonequa Martin-Green, Michelle Yeoh, Doug Jones, Anthony Rapp, Mary Wiseman, Wilson Cruz, Mary Chieffo, Tig Notaro, Alan Van Sprang, Jane Brooke, and of course Anson Mount, Ethan Peck and Rebecca Romaine. It would seem like as a bit of a way to whet our appetite into what's coming for both Strange New Worlds and Season 3 Discovery, is they're kind of going to do a little bit of a table read of the finale of Season 2 of Discovery. I'm hoping this is just kind of like the last 5 minutes or something, because the actual Star Trek virtual panel only goes for an hour. It's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. Obviously they can't read through the whole episode because that's going to just blow too much time, but my guess would be maybe they're going to do a table read for like the last 5 or 10 minutes of that last episode of Season 2, because any more than that and you're just burning time for no reason, rather than actually give us some meaty new gossip rather than rehash old gossip we already know about. Let's get some new blood happening. So it should be a bit of fun to see these guys redo the last moments perhaps of the Season 2 finale for Discovery, which will, you know, kind of, I think, maybe lead into some announcements perhaps for Strange New Worlds, because it's pretty clear that Strange New Worlds will most likely pick up where Season 2 of Discovery left off. Obviously, you know, Discovery Season 3 is way off into the future, 900 years in the future, so it's sort of outside of that timeline now. So I'm guessing that Strange New Worlds is going to pick up the mantle from where Discovery Season 2 left off, which they'll probably give us a few little tidbits of information about at the panel on Thursday. Now, it also seemed like Mike McMahon is going to be there doing a bit of a Lower Decks panel, and we're going to see maybe a bit more of an extended glimpse at the first episode of Lower Decks. We obviously got the trailer last week, which was, it met some mixed opinions. Some people loved it, some people maybe didn't love it as much. I thought it was fine. I am looking forward to the show, providing it doesn't undermine Star Trek too much. I think we can have a nice nice laugh at some of the humorous moments there in this comedy series, providing it doesn't completely undermine and proverbially pee all over the Star Trek legacy, then I'm cool having a bit of a laugh at some more humorous aspects of Starfleet and the Federation. So it seems like we might be getting Mike McMahon, we might be getting the other voice cast, Tawny Newsome, Jack Quaid, Noah Wells, Dawn Lewis, Fred Tatasciore, and Gillian Vigman. So that will be interesting to see a bit more of a chunk scene, you know, whether it's an opening scene or just a big scene from the first episode, perhaps. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit more of a sense of the narrative structure of Lower Decks, because obviously, you know, trailers tend to be very chopped up, just quick little moments without actually kind of seeing how the sort of scenes might kind of work, and whether it's going to be really fast paced or whether it's going to be more like a typical sort of Star Trek episode in its kind of plotting, perhaps. So it'll be interesting to see a little bit more of a good chunk of an episode there in the upcoming Lower Decks panel. Now we're also going to get a look at the cast of Star Trek Picard. Patrick Stewart, Alison Pill, Issa Briones, Evan Evagora, Michelle Hurd, Santiago Cabrera, Brent Spiner, Jonathan Delarco, Jonathan Frakes, Jerry Ryan, and Miranda Sirtis will all be in attendance virtually, I think. So it might be, maybe it's going to be like a big Zoom call with all those kind of Brady Bunch style windows popping up with everybody in there. So we're going to get a little bit more of a look and a chat with our cast members there. Hopefully we'll get maybe a little bit of information as to the premise of Season 2. It's clearly going to go off on a completely different tangent for the second season, because we're no longer doing the whole finding out Data's daughter routine with the Romulans and stuff. So it seems like with Picard Season 2, it'll be its whole new, entirely new story for Season 2, but it's good to learn that all of our cast members are returning for Season 2. This will be the first time where this show is really kind of starting to get that ensemble cast, crew family kind of vibe to it, I think, because everybody was kind of coming in at different moments in the first season. Some characters weren't even introduced till the end of the season. Very cool to see where our plot for Star Trek Picard Season 2 is heading. Hopefully we get a little bit more information too about Strange New Worlds. We know a lot of the scripts have been written for various different episodes, and we know that the plotting and storytelling of Strange New Worlds is going to be more episodic and not serialized. So more of that same sort of storytelling style that our Next Generation, Voyager, original series and Enterprise kind of had, where it was less reliant on a serialized single story that spanned the entire season and more individual episodes covering Planet of the Week scenarios. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be good to get back to the roots of Star Trek storytelling, and hopefully we get a little bit more of an idea as to maybe casting for Strange New Worlds. We obviously know Rebecca Romaine and Ethan Peck, and of course Anson Mount are reprising their roles in Strange New Worlds, but it will be very interesting to see whether we get some information about other cast members who are going to be part of the crew for Strange New Worlds. Generally, these shows tend to have about 7 primary cast members. We obviously know the captain, the first officer, and the science officer. Maybe we might find out about some casting choices for Strange New Worlds. The helmsman, I believe, on the Enterprise was also number 1, so probably not going to be a helmsman if the first officer is also the helmsman. Security chief, tactical officer, the doctor. There was a bit of an internet rumor going around a few weeks back that there was like an internet petition or something for Jeffrey Combs, who a lot of you would know is a big Star Trek actor. He played Wayun, the Vorta leader on DS9. He played Shran, the Andorian character on Enterprise, and he also played another role on DS9, the Ferengi Brunt as well. There's an internet petition going around a few months back. People were putting it out there for Jeffrey Combs to reprise the role of Dr. Boyce, which I think would be a very inspired casting choice. I think Jeffrey Combs is a fantastic actor, and he said in an interview he'd definitely be up for it. That would be a cool casting choice, I think, if they opted to go in that direction. The Star Trek Universe Virtual Panel is this Thursday, the 23rd of July, starting at 10 a.m. and going for an hour between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time in the US. I will definitely be tuning in, even though it will be 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'll just get some matchsticks to keep my eyes open, but I'll definitely be there tuning in as it happens and bringing all the latest news from that panel to you as soon as I can after it's been announced. So yeah, looking forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed as well, and I'll be back to give my roundup of all the different bits of news that came out at that panel after it airs on this coming Thursday. And until then, I'll see you guys soon.